And so now that the worst of list is done, time to talk about my top 10 favorite anime of 2021. Now, I'm going to be totally honest with y'all. I didn't love this year's anime. I thought it was a bit of a weaker year compared to the past few years, but when there was good stuff this year, it was goddamn good, and that is what I'm here to talk about today. Now, naturally, I'm talking about the shows that I watched, and unfortunately, I can't get to everything. I didn't make it to Odd Taxi. I didn't get a chance to watch Vivy. I'm sorry. I'm sure those shows are good. Just kind of flew under my radar. These are simply the shows I liked and in comparison to each other. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's start this list by cheating. That's right, there was a lot of big franchises that got new seasons this year, and a lot of them were great, to the point where when I first did this list, they took up the whole list, and that's no fun. So right now, we're just going to take a minute and just dedicate slot number 10 to the franchises I loved that got new seasons, such as Beastars for being a really interesting take on representing the human psyche, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S for being a great return to form for Kyoto Annie, Demon Slayer Mugen Train for just being a ton of fun and looking gorgeous while doing it, ReZero Season 2 Part 2. Yeah, I did a video where I talked about my problems with ReZero, but for the most part, I do really enjoy this show and I do really love these characters. Log Horizon Season 3. I love Log Horizon. Enough said. My Hero Academia Season 5. Bitch all you want about not following the manga correctly. I thought there was some great shit here. And finally, Dr. Stone, Stone Wars. I love Dr. Stone so goddamn much. If you haven't checked this one out, you're like, oh, it's science. Science is boring. Watch Dr. Stone. Coming in at number 9, don't worry, now we're just on to talking about regular shows. We have bottom tier character Tomozaki-kun. In a world where anime loves pandering to incels, we have a show that is literally just about one getting over himself, taking a shower, and getting out and trying to make some friends. Yeah, the show's got a big message, but above all else, it's also fun, it's interesting. I think the conversations they have about people and perception and society and ultimately putting yourself out there and being willing to take the risks because you think the reward of meeting new people is worth it is a really important message in today's world, where I think that unfortunately gets lost on a lot of people. Not a lot of people check this show out, and I hope you take the chance to do so. Coming in at number 8, we have a show I avoided, but I am so glad I finally gave in and checked it out, with How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. Just one of those shows that just runs on 100% fucking charm. And, you know, hot anime girls, but just so damn charming. Characters are lovable, the world is fun, the animation is fun, gets what it needs to do. This is one of those shows you just kind of want to just sit back and hang out with everybody. And in a world where sometimes you kind of just need that strong anime escapism, it helps them have two great characters to do it with. So for number 7, we have the show that everyone was like, oh, this is what you want if you feel like crying. We've got To Your Eternity. And you know what? There's a lot more to this show than just tears. To Your Eternity is a really fun fantasy show that has a really interesting world, some really nice, likable characters, and just a lot of just good drama and even a lot of great humor. So when those moments that happen where you do cry, because yeah, that is ultimately the point of this show, it feels so earned and worth it that when the show is just over, you're just like, I want to go on more journeys with this guy. I want to see more of this world and be put through just more awful hardships because, god damn it, I need to feel something. So for number 6, we have Tokyo Revengers. This is a really fun, like, cross between time travel and undercover cop shows and sort of like gang, crime, politics. There's a fun little message in here about like getting to sort of like fix what you did wrong in your life. All the characters are super cool, super charming. This has definitely been the big husbando show for ladies this year, and it all leads to one of those shows where you always got to see what happens next. I always had to make sure I was there for the next episode. This was the show this year that probably had me most making sure I got to the next episode on time, because I just had to see what happened next as things just continued to get crazier and crazier, and I can't wait for season 2. Jesus flying fuck. Number 5 makes me so mad because I spent 9 months watching That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. All of season 1, the first half of season 2, the spin-off slice of life comedy they did, and the rest of season 2. This show became so addicting for me, it pisses me off so damn much. All those likable characters, all that great world building, all the fun animation, screw all that. Why did it make me want to keep watching so goddamn badly when I could have checked out other stuff? But no. Every week I was like, I gotta go back to this one. I gotta check it out. It's so damn good. And I feel so glad after putting this off for years, I finally watched it. It makes me so mad that this show made me so happy. Number 4, we got the show that maybe pulled me in the quickest, and that is Those Snow White Notes, an anime about the musical instrument, the shamisen. It doesn't matter, the guitar thing. It's so goddamn good. The way it uses the music to just bring you in, the way it's always the star and the focus of the show. That's not to say the characters aren't really good. The characters are all very likable in this show, but the star really is the music. It's just done so expertly and handled so greatly. You sit there just feeling like you actually got something out of this, rather because you learned something interesting about the instrument, or because it felt good to experience a side of music you probably don't get a lot, or also just because you really like the journey our characters go on in the show. This is a great watch, and one that if you're like, well, I don't know much about this instrument, I highly recommend give it a try. Okay, so as has been the case for the past couple of years, 3 through 1 are kind of interchangeable. This is more or less just how I'm feeling right now, but to start things off with, we have 86. This is such a great sci-fi, mecha, dystopian, war, pretty anime teens doing cool shit show. Just from the minute the show starts, you're kind of just into it. The world is just that right kind of shitty that you're always just rooting to see these characters survive. The action's really clean and really well done. The sort of idea for mecha in this show is such a refreshing take that it really makes me want to buy those model kits if they weren't going for so much money. But yeah, this is a show that unfortunately hasn't finished airing as of yet, but it is so goddamn good, and despite its production trouble, they are clearly putting quality first. It really makes me safe to say this is one of the best of the year, and if you've been looking for a good mecha or just a good sci-fi show in general, this would be my pick for you. Number 2 is the show that if you were to just say to me, what is the best show of 2021? I'm gonna go with Blue Period. There is honestly, for me, nothing wrong with this show. I think the characters are great. I think the story's great. I think the music is great. I think the animation is great. This is just one of those shows where it just does everything right. Such a great story about discovering your passion and how that can make you so happy and fill you so much with joy, but also how the journey to pursue that passion can really just destroy you mentally and physically, and the hardships and what that can put you through, but how in turn you are better on the other side for having gone through it and try to do what you love. There is really nothing wrong with this show, and I think it might be one of the most perfect tellings of this story. It is the overall best thing I can recommend for you this year. But it's not quite my favorite pick, and so I should probably just go ahead and explain to you all why. Number 1! I'm doing this again, I don't know why. So, a word of explanation. We are in some very hard times right now. Very complicated. I won't go into it. Y'all know why. And I think there's a very strong desire from people to seek out media, rather it's anime, books, comics, movies, that understand that. Shows that understand drama and what people go through. We thought at the beginning of this year Wonder Egg Priority was gonna be the show that did that for us this year. Unfortunately, as I've pointed out many times, that went horribly wrong, and in realizing how hard it can be to get emotions right, it made me really realize just how important Fruits Basket is to me. I know what you're thinking, oh, he went with a girly show. It's all drama and romance and blah, blah, blah. Yes, all that is true. I also will say, this is objectively not a perfect show. There are problems. There are flaws. But fuck it. I love it, damn it. Nothing, I think, really gets the idea of what it is like to feel pain, what it is like to go through trauma, what it is like to feel vulnerable. Nothing is willing to show this as well as this does. Well, maybe some do it, but this is the one that I think affected me the most. What the characters go through just over the span of 3 seasons, all culminating into here, is such just a beautiful story about just wanting to be better and wanting to get over the pain you've got through and learn to live with it and learn to move on and find people who will make you happy, who will make you want to better yourself. Put yourself in a position in life where you're not just angry, you're not sad, where you want to know happiness. And I think in today's world, that's what we need. There's just such a great understanding of emotions in this and what that puts you through and how it's better to have gone through that pain and look forward at the other end. We've had a rough couple of years. No one is going to deny that. And when you look at what's going on in the world, it can be hard to believe that things will get better. But I believe deep down, we all want something to make us believe that things will get better, that you can improve, that your sadness isn't forever, and that other people understand what you're feeling. For me, nothing did that better than this cheesy, corny, teen girl fantasy romance manga from the 90s, and for that, I'm truly grateful that a studio decided to give us this series. I hope that all of you were able to find something this year that truly affected you, whether it's this anime or anything else. May that thing stick with you no matter what challenges you face. We all need something like that. Also, Toru is perfection. This is not up for debate. You can disagree with me with anything else I've said today. That's totally fair. But this is the one thing that is undisputable. Just accept it. But anyways, that was my list. Give me your thoughts on it below. What were your favorite anime of the year? And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me for more anime going forward.